Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's Germany versus Korea at the World Cyber Games 2006. Soju versus Xlord. Night Elf versus Undead.
Korea versus Germany. So we have first place Korea against second place Germany. Well-known Soju, who plays for Team World Elite, is up against Xlord, who plays for SK Germany. The two players are up on the screen right now. They're getting ready to start the match very soon. All right, let's hear you guys cheer for who you want to win. Is it going to be Germany or Korea out there, guys? Come on, crowd.
Wake up.
Wake up.
I don't think Sujoy's clapping.
So we have a big fan base out there for Xlord. The game is now going to start once again on Terranistan. Night Elf versus Undead. Quickly, we see the spawn locations already on the 10 o'clock position. Well, we're looking at the 4 o'clock first. Is your Night Elf player Soju? So that's Lee Song-dok. He has spawned over again on the 4 o'clock. Undead player Xlord has spawned at the 10 o'clock position. Now, I think what we're going to see here already early on the game, Altar of Darkness and the Crypt. So Xlord will open up the game with ghouls. Most Undead players who play on Terranistan will typically go ghouls, and it's not very often that you see Crypt Fiends on this map. Meanwhile, we also see an Altar of Elders coming up for Soju. So he will go most likely, my guess is possibly the Warden or the Beastmaster, because those are the two common heroes in this map for Night Elves.
Yep. Talk to me about why a map can be important in a game of Warcraft. The races are what a newbie from the outside would look at and say, this is where the difference is. But where is the difference in a map playing into the factor of the players?
Well, a map can really affect the gameplay a lot, and in this map already I'm seeing Soju do a common strategy that most Night Elves have started doing on Terranistan, and that is the Ancient of War creeping. We saw this in yesterday's game on the stage, and now we're seeing it again. He will go with the Warden. So with the Warden, he will use that Ancient of War to creep. So again, with the maps, it depends on the size, and this is quite a small map, and Night Elves tend to expand a lot on this map and use the Ancient of War to creep. And it looks like with the Warden, he will be able to level up her level very quickly.
So you're expecting here that we may be in for the long haul between these two players. And in comparison to those who may have been out there yesterday and saw this map in Sky's game, where he took it really, really quickly in maybe 8 minutes or so. And what difference, again, do we see that brings out a longer match rather than a shorter?
Well, on this map, the matchup is quite different. We're playing with Night Elf and Undead. Quickly, we have a scout here from Soju, so he's going to check out the base of Xlord. And it may not be as long now that he's chosen to go the Warden. If he had chosen to go the Beastmaster, he would probably have dragged the game out a bit longer to try and level that Beastmaster up to 5. But instead, going with the Warden, if she gets leveled up quickly, I'm not sure if the game will be as long as we expect.
Great stuff. So early attacks coming out here, and that Ancient of War is, getting right in the thick of things from the off, as they all can join the creeping fun with that Warden. As now we're going to see that Death Knight whipped out, and we'll be moving along from Xlord, and Xlord will make his way across. And you know what, Kim, you mentioned earlier a very valid point. If you're just 15 years old and you're up on a stage like this with weather conditions, it's very, very different from going from your home bedroom where you're sitting and so used to being every day playing. And I really believe that I agree when you say that it could make a big impact on this game.
Right, especially when a newcomer comes around. Xlord here looks like he's chosen to go an aggressive approach. He wants to rush Soju. Now, I don't know if that's just because he's nervous or not, but he's trying to end the game a bit early, coming in, trying to take a Moonwell down. Not looking good for him, though, because his Death Knight has been Shadow Strike. He's running low on HP. He's going to have to pull back away a bit, while the ghouls are back in the main base trying to take a Moonwell down. Can he get that Moonwell to cancel? Will he take it down? Oh, it was canceled by Soju, and it has to be rebuilt, and these ghouls are in trouble. I don't think they can take it. He's losing his units here. He's not going to be able to take that Moonwell down. He's going to have to pull back. The Death Knight is now coming on in. The ghoul will have to run away. He's going to use his Death Knight now to try and take that Moonwell down. We'll see if Soju cancels it. Looks like he does, and a ghoul will fall down here. The Wisp is trying to trap him. Down goes the ghoul. Oh, and the Death Knight gets surrounded so early in the game. In comes the Wisp to detonate so that the Death Knight can't coil. We do see that Xlord has already teched up to the Halls of Dead. Death Knight still surrounded. Down goes the Death Knight so early in the game, was trapped, and this is not looking good at all for Xlord.
What a terrible, terrible start. You know, you put all your preparations, you put all your plans together, and then they just get thrown out the window at the first time of asking when you lose that hero so early on, and in such a situation where he will be kicking himself. This one will haunt him for a long time.
He's already at a disadvantage here. It's going to be hard for him to compete against Soju, someone who is so experienced, but also with the strategy that Soju is going, he has used the Ancient of War to help him creep. His Warden's leveling up very quickly. She's already at level 3. And you know, that's not looking good for Xlord. He tried to slow down the creeping, but with the bases being kind of far away, there was no chance. I don't know if he would have been better off creeping or not, because there's really no way you can stop the Warden from creeping as quickly as she does.
So that Death Knight has been revived and is now back out and creeping, deciding to go for a safer option this time rather than going out for the all-out assault from the off. And I'll tell you what, I think he might rethink that strat one more time as he makes his way forward and, well, charge in. And this is the Warden that you're now seeing going out creeping of Soju. And Soju now will get that Warden up to still a level 1. The Death Knight actually just a touch advanced at level 1 as he continues his creeping. And so the early exchange is underway as more formally as we would now expect.
Right, so right now you're seeing Xlord still only at level 1. He's competing against a level 3 Warden. That's going to be very tough for him. I did talk to some of his teammates earlier on, and I think the approach he was trying to go for this game was an early aggressive push. He's not going to expand. Most Undead players will try to expand to compete with the Night Elf expanding, but it doesn't look like Xlord will try and do that. So I see some motion up here on the top, and he's using the mirror image of the Warden to creep. Meanwhile, he's using his real hero to come back and harass. One ghoul's about to go down, but a death coil goes out to keep him alive. The Death Knight finally reaches level 2, and the Warden here is being slowed down. She blinks out of the way and is now out of harms. So the Warden, again, already at level 3, has stacked with a lot of items, boots of speed, slippers of agility. He's also got a claws of attack, so she's kind of decked out.
Yes, and well, the Warden started things off well. The Archer's continuing to creep as we have now one of those. We've already moved on from that, and the Warden's gonna, just use those goals, and he may have the surround on the Warden. Oh no, the Death Knight hasn't been pinned in, and the Warden's gonna try and fight his way out of that. In comes the Gargoyle as well, and now the Death Knight will have to move out of there because the Death Knight's in trouble. The Warden needs just one more shot to finish it off. The Death Knight running away with 28 points of health, and the Warden says enough is enough as it only had down to 60, and well, early excitement still.
That was a really nice action there. It looks like the Warden was down to very low HP. So was the Death Knight. Both retreated to go home. Quickly, though, Soju used a Wand of Mirror Image to get a Mirror Image Warden out to now run away. We see already a quick transition to Gargoyles for Xlord. So he's going to mass Gargoyles for a while. If this does go into a late game, we may see some Abominations. But right now, it's going to be Gargoyles. And looking in, I haven't really seen Soju's base yet to see if he's going to go for Dryads or not. But we have 2 Gargoyles out for Xlord, several Ghoulies, and an upgrade now to Black Citadel.
Now, what impact will the upgrade have? What will this play into what he's trying to do for the rest of this game?
This will be tough. He is going a lot of Gargoyles against Archers. We're finally seeing the Ancient of Lords now drop down for Soju. So most Night Elves, again, when they go Warden, you're going to see Archers and then Dryads, and if the game goes late, possibly Bears. So right now, the Dryads are going to come up a little bit late, which means the Gargoyles will be able to pick off on the Archers if they are positioned in a good place. Okay,
now we follow the Warden, level 3, as he will make his way slowly forward, and now we'll go for a creep jack, and the creeps may in fact play a big part in that one. No, they won't, as now we have the level 2 Death Knight getting out of harm's way, as one of those creeps gives chase, and the Warden may well try and pick that one off. In fact, has gone in and downed one of those ghouls, and now we switch across to the Archers, and well, the continuation of this battle is this Warden will just will just move itself right out of harm's way, slows down that Death Knight as it retreats all the way back to home.
So this really is not looking good for Xlord. I just saw the Warden level up, so she's probably at level 4 now. The Death Knight's still only at level 2. Was Shadow Striked quite a bit. We're also seeing a possible expansion coming up from Soju. The Gargoyles are flying by to kind of check out the base. No Dryads up yet. So Xlord's going to continue creeping. He's got to compete against a level 4 Warden, and that's very hard. We're seeing the second hero now for Soju. He will go for a Naga, so he's going to play also a bit aggressive in here. The Warden's coming on in, trying to take down. She has been surrounded. He doesn't have enough mana. Oh, there he does. Enough mana for a blink. Trying to chase down the Death Knight. Shadow Strike goes off, and it looks like the Death Knight has to run back and hide. So Xlord's trying to use his ghouls here to protect that Death Knight from the Warden. Meanwhile, we have a Gargoyle running around to scout. We see the expansion that Soju tried to put up over at the top part of the base, the 2 o'clock position, and it has to be, the gold mine has to be canceled there with the Gargoyles coming into harass.
That's Soju on the screen. You see right there, looking pretty calm, looking pretty collected. Certainly had the better of the opening exchanges thus far. And those Gargoyles have retreated away from that expansion and will now be returning to activities as normal.
So we have Artificial Night now just used by Soju so he can get the Moonwells regenerated quicker. He's now going to use his Naga Sea Witch and his archers to protect his expansion. He has the advantage in this game, so he's just playing it a little cool. He's already got a level 4 Warden, so she's very powerful right now. Death Knight, again, of Xlord, only at level 2. So he's got a lot of catching up to do. He still only has 1 hero. Meanwhile, Xlord has 2 heroes. He's got the level 4 Warden and now a Naga Sea Witch. And he's going to secure himself an expansion. So Xlord, really, he's going to struggle in this one.
So the odds are already stacked up against him. Bunny's not too favorable for him right now, and well, that and the fact that he's just a young'un, it's all piling up against him. And I'll tell you what, this is a great stage to learn such things. You got to learn the hard way, and there's no harder way than going out on the main stage in front of such a big crowd. And I'll tell you what, I think that you may, well, you are right as well.
So this game may not go on as long as we think. We do see a second hero now out for Xlord. He's chosen to go the Lich. What you see right now is Soju has used a potion of invisibility with the Warden, has come on in just to kind of scout, stalking Xlord a little bit, checking out what he's doing, and then he's going to do his attack. With the level 4 Warden, the Shadow Strike will be very strong. So he's trying to wait for an opportunity to attack either a hurt unit or the heroes of Xlord while he's out creeping. There he goes, does a Shadow Strike on the Death Knight, and quickly blinks away. So now she can't be caught, she can't be nuked.
Very nicely done. The Dryads will just cover his 6 and the Naga Sea Witch involved there as well. So we're now going to have the Gargoyles joining up. There is that Warden right on cue, and will now take shot, and then will get itself right out of there, right as Bunny predicted. And now we're going to see that Lich involved as the fire comes down from those Gargoyles and the Dryads as well. And it's going to be Soju that just pulls away to range a bit.
We have a Warden very low on HP. She's going to have to run to the very far back now. Naga Sea Witch is trying to fight in the front lines. Dryads against Gargoyles. I see the Warden blinking away again. The Naga's about to get surrounded if she's not careful. Trying to pull back. Coil goes off on the Naga, and down goes the Naga. So Xlord here had to use the Potion of Vulnerability to keep his Death Knight alive, and the Lich levels up. He is not going to give up. He will put up a fight, and Soju needs to rethink a bit here and try to recollect. He's lost his Naga Sea Witch. Still has a Warden, though, so he's not in trouble. Expansion, though, is in trouble. He's getting the gold mine right now. Xlord is trying to take down that gold mine. He doesn't want Soju to have the extra income, but the Dryads come in to try and pick away on whatever units is left over. They see a ghoul. That ghoul will go down, but at least Xlord is able to stop the gold mine from getting more gold.
Yes, indeed. And Xlord, we tried to write him off, but he's come back into this one and will not be written off. The Gargoyles now under some fire from the Dryads, and that Death Knight going to have to TP out of there after being caught right in the crossfire, and will get out of harm's way. But the expansion lives on just in the nick of time.
It looks like Soju wanted to get his revenge there. Went up, saw a very low Death Knight, casted a Shadow Strike, and Xlord was smart enough to not stay in that fight and TP'd out. So now he will heal up his units while he's waiting in. We still don't see any expansion from Xlord. He's still behind, and I believe at a disadvantage in this game, as Soju is now out creeping a little bit more. The Warden now very close to level 5, has a Cloak of Shadows, boost of speed, claws of attack, and slippers of agility, and a staff of teleportation. So meanwhile, with the Ancient of Lords in Soju's base, we're seeing more and more Dryads. He's still at Tree of Ages, so he's not taking to Tier 3 yet. He's just going to stick to Mass Dryads as the Warden now approaches in the base to see what's going on.
Now we have got Xlord, as you can see on your screen, just holding back, and as we look around, now we spy ourselves the blue army of Soju making his way forward. Those were the Gargoyles that we saw moving forward, and well, now we're going to continue our creeping with the the Gargoyles coming back for more, so there's no way Xlord is going to give up on this expansion.
he's going to have to slow down the expansion because he is at a lower hero. Oh, we have the Warden coming in with the Staff of Teleportation. And it looks like the Gargoyles won't be able to do anything against the Warden. So they're staying far back away. The Warden is trying to be scary. And Xlord just wants to slow down Soju because not only does he have the higher hero levels, he has a lot of units. He's at 58 food count right now, and he has the expansion. So Xlord has to do something. Otherwise, he'll just get deeper and deeper in a hole.
Yes, indeed, and now that's Xlord you see on your screen. A little bit calmer now, Xlord, after what was certainly a cagey opening few minutes, but he's dug himself in, and he's not going to be overrun just yet by the reputation of the Korean.
Right now, level 5 on the Warden of Soju. She's out to cause some trouble. That looks like the Xlord, though, has reached to tier 3. He's adding abominations into his army. The Gargoyles are continuing to harass the expansion of Soju, and we may have a battle here coming in as the ghouls move on in, and Soju will move on up. This may be the final battle. Shadow Strike goes off on the level 3 Death Knight. We have a coil that goes off on the Warden, and Soju pulls back a little bit. He's going to wait for Xlord to concentrate on his expansion so he can pick on the units. Here he goes. A lot of Gargoyles being focused again. The Warden getting nuked by Death Knight and Lich. Potion of Invulnerability had to be used. Scroll of Healing was also used by Xlord. The Naga's now being the focus fire. Nuke on her, and then she has to use the Potion of Invulnerability, and we have a big battle here going on, and Soju does not want to lose his level 5 Warden. He will be forced to teleport out. Nice job there by Xlord.
You know, if we're playing a boxing game right now, Kim, and we were going to say who's winning on points, who is winning on points in this one?
It's actually not bad. Xlord is putting up a good fight here. He has his 2 abominations, but you know what? Soju has the level 5 Warden. He's not going to give up. He's already healed. In he comes again, but the Naga's going to be focused on Death Coil and Frost Nova on the Naga. She's very low on HP, has to run it very far back, but now the Death Knight is in trouble as Shadow Strike is casted on him. The Warden is going up. She's full of health. Dryads are all focusing on the Gargoyles. The Death Knight is trying to run away, and it looks like he's in trouble because the Warden is not going to give up. A health potion was used by the Death Knight there, either that or Death Pact. I didn't see how he got more additional health, but the abominations are falling down. No more Gargoyles left. Xlord is in trouble. 1 abomination is going to go down. He coils it to keep him alive, and then Warden now blinks out of the way. Where did she go? She blinked. Went somewhere. She's not on the screen, but the Death Knight, oh, the Death Knight just used Death Pact to go ahead and get more additional health. There goes the Warden. She blinks back in again. Nuke goes on the Warden, and the Warden better run. She has to use her Staff of Teleportation. Can she make it? Oh, she made it out just in time with only a very low HP left, and it looks like Xlord is going to take down the expansion of Soju.
Brilliant work from Xlord, really clawing his way right back into this and constantly be able to recover those units, constantly able against all odds to keep that Death Knight up despite 2 or 3 times looking like it was going to go down, and now that Warden is coming back for more, and the Death Lord says, I want more, and may well get it. We have that Lich still laying down fire onto that expansion, which still stands tall, even though it's taken a heck of a lot of damage, and now the Warden's back.
So now we have the Warden trying to protect from magic. He has the anti-magic shell on to see if he can prevent himself from getting nuked. Another Shadow Strike is casted on the Death Knight. Death Knight learning low on HP. Level 4 Death Knight may go down right here. Trying to run away, and down goes the DK of Xlord, and he gives up. GG calls Daniel, and the win goes to Lee Song-guk, who is known as Soju from Korea.
Well, Kim, we've just seen a real roller coaster of a match. It's gone up and down. Well, just analyze those final playouts for us and why that Death Knight just gave up in the end.
Soju had the game pretty much the whole time. He was slipping a little bit on that fight, but he did have the hero advantage. He had the expansion. Xlord tried to stay in there. He put on a good show, so a big round of applause should go out to both Xlord and Soju, who put on a good game for all of you guys.
That's right, you've been inside the game with Bunny and Tosspot, bringing you WarCraft 3. Soju has defeated Xlord of Germany. Korea pick up the win in the second group stage. We'll be back here on the main stage later with more coming your way.
Okay, actually we're not going to go yet. We're going to go ahead and talk about the group stages real quick. This is group, I believe, I, possibly. Yep, this is Group I. And here Soju already has 2 wins secured for him. He defeated Hot in round 1, who is Night Elf player from Ukraine. And now he's defeated Xlord in round 2. So they have 3 more rounds to go. Round 3, round 4, round 5. There's actually 5 players in their group. I don't know who else is in their group, but we'll see how the rest of the players are doing. Xlord, I don't know how he did in the first round, but he's already down 1 game against Soju.
So he's going to have to pick that one up. Now we are going to wrap it up, but don't go anywhere. NOA versus NIP. It's the Battle of Scandinavia in Counter-Strike 1.6. That one is hot. Do not miss it. You've been inside the game with the lovely Bunny and myself, Joshua, and we will be back here on the main stage later on.